Welcome to the 2024 March Madness season. My name is Parker Wolfe. I'm your host, and I'm showing you how to pick a perfect bracket this year. I'm going to walk you through all my picks in each region, and we're going to determine the national champion together. So, this is a perfect bracket. I'm going to get you started. We're going to walk through it together. We're going to start in the East region, which I believe is the most stacked region. You have a ton of teams, and a lot of them are ranked high in KenPom, including 3 in the top 5 and 4 in the top 10 in KenPom. So let's start up with the 1 seeds. I'm basically going to automatically pick every single 1 and 2 seed because the odds that they lose is very, very slim. So I could try and guess like a 15 seed losing. It's happened the past 3 years, but I know I'm going to be wrong. And so I'm going to play a little bit safe, and it's still going to be perfect because this year, no 15 or 16 seed is going to lose. So we're just going to pencil in UConn, and then that means also in Iowa State as well. And these teams are really, really good. So I don't project them losing at all. All right. Now I got FAU versus Northwestern in the 8 versus 9. Boo Buie versus Dusty May, 1-on-1. Who wins head-to-head? I'm going Northwestern. I don't think FAU has the firepower to hang with Boo Buie. He's just a revolutionary player. And Northwestern's going to take it home. I spelled Northwestern a little wrong, but that's all right. Now we got San Diego State versus UAB. UAB, they won the AAC. Congrats to them. That's all they're going to be winning this year. San Diego State is going to kill them. Auburn versus Yale. You know, I love the Ivy League. Yale is actually a really good team. They fought hard to get here, but Auburn, they're another level. The SEC, I'm starting out a little bit chalky. That's because the top teams in this region are really good. We're going Auburn to win this game. BYU versus Dust Queenie, or in other words, Duquesne. BYU, they've got a lot of firepower. They got a ton of threes. Shoot the ball super well. Duquesne, they've been fading as of late. You know, they've won a couple of games, but honestly, they shouldn't be an 11 seed. They should be like a 14 seed. So we're going BYU to get the win. Give me those Mormons. We got Illinois versus Morehead State, 3 seed versus 14 seed. This game I could see getting a little bit sketch for Illinois, but I'm sticking with chalk here. At least at the beginning, we're going Illinois. Don't worry, it's not going to be this boring the entire time. All right, Washington State versus Drake. This is where I start to think about my first upset pick here. Wazoo has beaten Arizona twice. Arizona's on the 2 line, but that's because they know them and they play them in the Pac-12. So I'm going Drake, mid-major. They just won their conference tournament, and you can't bet against Drake. He's better than 21 Savage and Meek Mill. Just kidding, he's not better than Meek Mill. But as a 10 seed there, that's good value. Drake's going to get the upset. And we'll just stick with the finishing out this eastern side here. Northwestern versus UConn. There's no way Northwestern has the firepower to hang with UConn. UConn makes it to the Sweet 16, as well as Auburn over San Diego State, ending their run that they had last year. Not going to happen again this year for San Diego State to the Final Four. BYU versus Illinois. This is going to be like a super high scoring game. Who has the better offense? Who has the better players? It's Illinois. Illinois moves on. You got Drake versus Iowa State, 2 seed versus 10 seed. Iowa State has a lockdown defense, the best defense on an away neutral court over the last 2 months. Iowa State moves on. UConn versus Auburn. UConn, they've been super high powered. They're playing super well. They got really good players, but their guards are young. Clayton is really good. He's a great NBA prospect, but the SEC, it's kind of like football. Those guys are bigger. Auburn's got great talent. JaMychal is a beast, and we're going Auburn over UConn as the first major upset of this bracket. Then we got Illinois versus Iowa State. All right, you got offense versus defense. Defense wins championships. Iowa State moves on. So now we got Auburn versus Iowa State. Two very good defenses, two decent offenses. I like Iowa State, the better defense, to get out of this region. So we got Iowa State over Auburn in the Elite Eight. Let's move on to the West. UNC is going to be any 16 seed. Arizona, we're going to pencil them in as well. They're a great team. Mississippi State versus Michigan State in the 8-9 matchup. People say don't bet against Tom Izzo and Marsh. I say screw Tom Izzo, Mississippi State. You guys are going to move on. I hope Tom Izzo doesn't watch this. All right. St. Mary's versus Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon, they're the purple antelopes, I believe. You know, they wear purple. St. Mary's is the Gales. I'm taking the Gales. They're holy. And their defense is really good as well. Alabama versus Charleston. This is going to be a high-powered offensive game. Alabama is just a better version of Charleston, so give me Alabama. Clemson versus New Mexico. Clemson, they've been fading a little bit recently, and I don't like teams that are coming in limping into the tournament. New Mexico just won a league that had 6 bids into the tournament. They just won that conference tournament, so give me New Mexico. They also have really good guard play. Baylor versus Colgate. Baylor's got a great offense, bad defense. Colgate, you know, they always seem to get in the tournament and lose first round. Okay, my heart says Colgate, my mind says Baylor, but we need to pick a perfect bracket, so we're going Colgate. I want Ryan Moffitt, baby. Give me Ryan Moffitt. We got Dayton versus Nevada on the 7-10 line. Dayton, they're a little bit overseeded. They've been fading recently. They didn't even win. They got knocked out even before the semifinals of their conference tournament. And it's not even a good conference. It's just a no-brainer to go Nevada here. UNC versus Mississippi State. All right. High-powered UNC, Mississippi State, they play smash mouth style. Okay? They're going to wear and tear you down. I've been going with defense a lot this bracket. And I don't think I can bring myself to do it. I got to go UNC in a hard-fought smash mouth style over Mississippi State. St. Mary's versus Bama. They play 2 different styles. St. Mary's is going to get the job done. Their defense, I think, is going to overpower. And that's kind of what I'm banking on this year. I've seen a bunch of good defenses, and I'm banking on the defense this year as opposed to offense. I think St. Mary's is going to get the job done. New Mexico versus Colgate. Colgate does well to win 1 game, but New Mexico, they're on a whole different level. In my head, New Mexico is a 2 seed. They're moving on. Nevada versus Arizona. You got Nevada on the 10 line. This is going to be a really, really tight game. I can guarantee you it's going to be a close game. But I like Arizona. I don't think Caleb Love's going to go too cold. Give me Nevada to move on. UNC versus St. Mary's. 1 seed versus 5 seed. UNC just played Mississippi State. Beat Mississippi State. But give me St. Mary's here. I've been watching the Gales play. And over the last 2 months, they've been top 5 in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. Give me St. Mary's to keep up the trend. Their offense has been good enough that I think they're going to get the job done versus UNC, shutting down the 2 dynamic players in RJ Davis and Armando Bacot. Down here, you got New Mexico versus Nevada. And wait, did I say Nevada for that one? I meant Arizona. I meant Arizona. All right, Arizona is beating Nevada. I don't know if I said that or not, but I wrote the wrong thing. So then we got New Mexico versus Arizona. This game is going to be tight. It's going to be close. But give me the best guard in the nation, Caleb Love, to lose to New Mexico. I think New Mexico is going to pull a stunner here, be an 11 seed that gets all the way to the Elite Eight. We got a 5 seed versus 11 seed, St. Mary's versus New Mexico. And give me the Gales to move on. I think this is going to be the year that they get into the Final Four. They always seem to win one game and then lose. This is St. Mary's year. Nobody's speaking about them, so I got to put some respect on St. Mary's. Let's move over. This is the south part of the bracket, okay? I'm going to have to be fairly in the frame in order to write here and write some of the picks. You obviously got Houston as a 1 seed. Nebraska versus Texas A&M. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Of course, I need the Japanese Steph Curry to pull through. Give me Nebraska. Wisconsin versus JMU. JMU's won 31 games. Wisconsin just beat Purdue, okay? So these are two really, really good teams. Wisconsin and the Big Ten, they always choke. I hate them. And so give me JMU. I've been to Harrisonburg. It's a great city, and their colors are great. They're a good team. Give me JMU. They already beat Michigan State, which is another team in the Big Ten. So Wisconsin's going to be a piece of cake. Duke versus Vermont. I really don't like Duke, but this Vermont team, I can't trust them. I'm going Duke. Texas Tech versus NC State. I don't even have to talk about this one. DJ Burns is not losing in the first round. I can guarantee you that. NC State is going to probably blow out Texas Tech. It's not going to be close. They're going to ride that momentum. I saw this team in person, and they absolutely killed Duke at 4 seed and the 1 seed UNC. So there's no way they're losing to a 6 seed. Kentucky versus Oakland. Kentucky's guards are on another level. Reed Shepherd. Yeah, he's crazy. Give me Kentucky. Florida versus the winner of Colorado versus Boise State. I don't know who won that game yet. It hasn't happened, but doesn't matter. Florida is underseeded. The SEC, put some respect on their name. Florida is getting the win. Marquette versus Western Kentucky. No questions about this game right here. Houston versus Nebraska. You know, I'm liking that we're going through every matchup because you're going to be able to clip this when I say stuff right and when I say stuff wrong. So I really hope Western Kentucky doesn't beat Marquette because I said this is no problem and just penciled in Marquette. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Houston versus Nebraska. Give me Houston. They got an amazing defense. I've been liking defense this year for some reason. I feel like this is going to be the year of defense. JMU versus Duke. I really don't like Duke. They won round 1 because I don't think Vermont's a very good team. The Dukes are a great squad. They, like I said, at this point, they'll have 32 wins. 32 is my favorite number. Sometimes you don't have to overthink things. The stars are just aligning for JMU to beat Duke. NC State, Kentucky. All right, you got the high-powered offense of Kentucky. You have DJ Burns. I mean, it's basically DJ Burns versus Kentucky. Give me Thanos, the big 275 DJ Burns, to take down Kentucky. All right, they already beat a 1 seed and a 4 seed, and a 6 seed. A 3 seed is nothing. Florida versus Marquette. Give me Marquette. Tyler Kolek is back, baby. I love Marquette this year. Houston versus JMU. JMU pulled up a couple games, but they're not gonna be able to match Houston's defensive efficiency. Houston's probably gonna shut them down. They're not gonna hit a lot of threes. Give me Houston. NC State versus Marquette. 11 seed versus 2 seed. This is a game right here. I really hope this game happens. Honestly, I don't think that Marquette has anybody for DJ Burns, but I like Marquette too much. They're, in my eyes, with Tyler Kolek, you're getting your best player back. He's been an All-American last year, this year as well. And you got 2 guys that could be going in the first or second round of the NBA draft. they had all the pieces, and so I'm going to take Marquette. Even though my heart wants NC State, I'm taking Marquette. Houston, so we got a 1 versus 2 here, a little bit chalky, but there were some upsets to get here. Houston versus Marquette, you have a really high-powered defense, and then you have Marquette, who I just love as a balanced team here. And with Tyler Pollock coming back, at this point they have 3 games under their belt. I'm taking Marquette into the Final Four. All right, now we got the Midwest. Midwest region, we're just going to keep on rolling. I could also probably, here we go. Midwest region, Purdue versus 16 seed. Don't know who it is yet. It's going to be Purdue. And then down here we got Tennessee versus St. Peter's. Don't sleep on St. Peter's, okay? Don't sleep on them. But I don't think they can repeat the magic this year. So we're just going to pencil in Purdue and Tennessee. Utah State versus TCU. Utah State versus TCU. Utah State, like I said, I love the Mountain West. They've been a great team all year, got 6 teams in the tournament, but they've been fading a little bit recently. They won the whole Mountain West, but they've been fading. I love the Horned Frogs. They're a really good team. They got size. And I'm going to take TCU over Utah State here. Gonzaga versus McNeese. Gonzaga has been playing decent. They haven't been playing quite as well as St. Mary's, but they honestly have been playing pretty well. They've lost 2 times to St. Mary's. But other than that, they've really beat every other team they've played over the last 2 months. So McNeese is a popular pick. It's a trendy pick. They have a good offense, but I don't think they can hang with Gonzaga here. We're going to pick the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Kansas, Samford. Okay, here's the thing. Kansas is getting Hunter Dickinson back, but they're not getting their best player back. I forget what his name is. It's like Jared or something. I forget what his name is, but they're not getting him back, okay? And so that's going to be very troublesome for Kansas. I think they're going to lose round 1, but they're definitely going to lose round 2. And I feel more comfortable picking the upset here than going with Kansas. They just got blown out by 20. And I think their season, they're just going to be ready for next year. Bill Self is going to move on and retool for the next season. He's probably already talking, transfer portal's already open. He's probably already talking next year's picks. He's probably already got 3 players lined up for next season. So his mind isn't in it. Samford is going to get the win. This is all they have. South Carolina versus Oregon. Oregon's been playing great. I always love Oregon every year. And for some reason, my heart is saying Oregon right now. Even though I know it's not the smart thing, my heart's saying Oregon. My mind is saying South Carolina. And obviously I love the SEC this year. So even though my heart wants Oregon, I'm going to pick South Carolina. Creighton, Akron. I don't think Akron stands a chance, honestly. Creighton can just move on. Texas versus Colorado State. Colorado State blew out Virginia, and they played really well, and their best player only had, I think he had single-digit points, really didn't do much. So imagine if he scores, 15 to 20, they're probably going to win over Texas by a substantial amount, even though I love Texas. They have Oral Roberts, old point guard, but I'm going Colorado State, upset Texas. Love the Mountain West. Purdue versus TCU. All right, I don't think TCU can get it done. This is the year that Purdue makes it out of the round of 32. Give me Purdue, the Boilermakers, to get into the Sweet 16. Gonzaga versus Samford. Samford pulled 1 game upset. They're not going to win another one. Give me Gonzaga. South Carolina versus Creighton. South Carolina, they did well to win 1 game, but Creighton, the Blue Jays just got Shireman, and he's just going to control the game, honestly. I don't think that South Carolina is going to stand a chance. Give me Creighton. One of the only teams that's beaten UConn. Colorado State versus Tennessee. I do like Colorado State here. Okay, I really like Colorado State here. But Tennessee is one of these teams where I just love them. They have Dalton Knecht. They have Zakai Ziegler. And even though they lost in their conference tournament, I like them too much to pick them out this early. Although I could see Colorado State pulling an upset. All right, Purdue Gonzaga, 1 seed versus 5 seed. Honestly, I think this is the year where Purdue, they get to the Elite Eight here. I don't think Gonzaga has the firepower to hang with Zach Edey. They don't have a dominant big man like Big Timmy with the mustache. So give me Purdue. Creighton versus Tennessee. Honestly, I've been going back and forth on this game in my mind. I like Dalton Knecht, though. I think he's going to have probably a 40, 50-point game, and I'm going to pick Tennessee. So now you got Tennessee versus Purdue. A 1-2 matchup. We're going a little bit chalk here, but I'm going to pick Purdue to beat Tennessee. I think this is the year where Purdue gets to the Final Four. The Boilermakers with Zach Edey. They right all their wrongs in the past. So now we got Iowa State versus St. Mary's. 2 really good defenses. 2 offenses that aren't quite as good, but are still pretty strong. And we're going Iowa State with their lockdown defense, best in the nation, to get all the way to the championship game. Give me Iowa State from the left side of the bracket. Marquette, 2 seed. They've been playing really well. They're getting Tyler Kolek back. They lost by 10 points or so to UConn in the championship game of the Big East. But now that they have their best player back, they should be right on par with what they want to do. Purdue, you have Zach Edey. You have a great record. And you've been playing really well over the past. Even though you lost to Wisconsin, they want to avenge everything that has happened in the past. Matt Painter obviously has a tainted history. So the fact that they're here is just a great thing. And, Isaac Okoro, not Isaac Okoro. He plays in the NBA right now. But anyway, yeah, their big guy versus Zach Edey. Give me Zach Edey, the 7'4" giant of a human. He's DJ Burns on steroids. They call him Thanos 2.0 to get into the championship game versus Iowa State. Now we got the Cyclones versus the Boilermakers. Okay, nation's #1 best defense versus Zach Edey with some sophomore point guards, some sophomore shooting guards, a bunch of white guys running around, which honestly, I don't know if I trust them. Maybe only for that reason alone. That does taint them a little bit. But honestly, I don't think you can stop Zach Edey. Zach Edey is like the Shohei Ohtani of college basketball right now. The player of the year by far. He is going to show the entire world that being 7'4" with his skill set, he's improved as a player dramatically. And so I think that they're going to be able to feed Zach Edey like no other this entire tournament. They're going to ride him even over Iowa State. Iowa State's best defense isn't going to be able to stop him. He's going to live at the free throw line. People are going to be so upset because the championship game is going to be Zach Edey throwing up crazy shots with the hoop but getting hacked every time. He's probably going to have 30 free throws. People are going to be outraged about it, outraged at the refs, but it's just what happens with Zach Edey. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. So give me Purdue, the Boilermakers, to win the championship game. I know it sounds crazy. I know it's like, man, they lost 3 times over the past 3 years to double-digit seeds, but I think this is the year that all changes. I think this is the year that the Boilermakers get it done, and Matt Painter is restored in college basketball history. Zach Edey, his banner is going to be hung in the stadium forever, and I think that's what's going to happen. So I really don't see any other result other than all these picks here. The one that I'm most skeptical about, actually, and I'm actually going to change here. I don't think Colgate's going to win. we're gonna change Baylor over Colgate. All right, and that's my bracket. Thanks for watching. When this is 100% right, it's going to get blown up. The video is going to go viral. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you after I win the $1 million bracket challenge from, what is it? Who is it? Warren Buffett. I'll see you after I'm a millionaire.